The boys are back, not in
Back in
town.
town.
Boys are back, not in town.
Took a week off for my adventures. I appreciate you, Travis.
Oh, no problem, dude.
Yeah.
So you're officially,
Yeah, I'm making everybody call me Big Tex now. It's gonna be the Big
yeah,
Tex Bigger T podcast.
that's
So
right.
the
Big
Big Tex Bigger T
Tex.
podcast.
All
No,
right.
it's Texas. I don't.
All right. So the main question I got to ask, how much brisket have you eaten so far?
I've only ate brisket once on my trip down here.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
and
So,
one of the trips I haven't went by myself. Of course, the family's not down yet, and so it's me.
yeah,
I'm trying to eat as cheap as possible.
gotcha.
So yeah, I haven't ate any brisket, but it is on the to-do list for
Gotcha.
sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a favorite spot before
Oh yeah,
long.
I've already found like a favorite taco spot, so there is
Oh,
that.
nice. Oh, well, you
Pour it.
fought half the battle already.
Now there you go. No, I went to jujitsu and I was like, dude, I found a new jujitsu gym. I went down there. The guys were pretty cool. Um, yeah, Holy Grail, shout out to them. But I was like, dude, my stomach's been upset the entire, just I think it's all the Mexican food down here just different. He goes, it never goes away, man. Never goes away.
It's just
It never goes away.
just learn to live with it, dude.
Just learn to live with it. He's learned to live with it.
Well,
So.
folks, we're back and we're ready, man. We got basketball to talk about. We got spring football to talk about. We got some baseball to talk about. Hey, and Arkansas State's playing James Madison, I think, tonight. We're recording this on Monday night, and I think they're playing tonight for a chance to make it to the tournament. So, and they're favored for the
Bunch of
game.
former Hogs on that team. You got Pinion, Ford.
Yeah, that's right. So, hey, man, never know. So, good stuff. And so we'll have our general good time and talk about some stuff. So we need you to right now. What do we need to do, Clint?
Stop what you're doing.
Stop what you're doing.
Hit the like
Because
button.
I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to.
And then after
I
you hit
look
that
funny,
like button,
but you
hit the
want making
share.
money.
Hit the share. Hit the share button.
Share.
Then you know what you do? You just subscribe. It's fun.
Yeah.
Dip the toes in and come to the Big C Bigger T podcast, the Hawg Slop.
Hawg Slop, baby.
The Hawg Slop with Big C and Bigger T.
That's right.
Sorry, I still forget the name change. I also forgot the time change, but hey,
whatever.
It'd have been a bigger deal if you forgot it. I just put it at that.
Yeah. So anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hey, listen to some music real quick, and we'll be right back with you. How about you?
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his thing. You ever seen a cancer death? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his thing.
So we just stop. Like giving your phone out.
Changes me. My Lord changes me. Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you a change his name. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen a death man raised? I promise you a change his name.
What's up, everybody? It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, Travis Johnson, joined as always by my best friend and now living in deep in the heart of Texas, Clint Shannon Clark. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, repping with the horns down.
What's up, Travis Cody Johnson? I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate it. It has been an experience being in Texas. I, like many of probably our listeners, probably suffer with anxiety. I know you deal with it. We all have the imposter syndrome and everything else. And when you're moving to a new place, there's a different anxiety. And I realize there's a place where there is a different kind of anxiety than all others. And you'll experience when you're traveling too, is when you go into a grocery store that you've never been in and you don't have a clue what the layout is.
Oh yeah.
I went into an HEB for the first time. A Heb, I don't know, HEB, whatever
Yeah,
they call
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
It's a Texas
Ham,
grocery.
eggs, and bacon. Is that what it
They got
is?
eggs and bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. And it was just it's like, man, I went went there and I knew exactly what I wanted. Like I have no idea where anything is. I felt like I got my steps in for the day, just trying to find the frozen food section. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm bachelor and I'm living off chicken tendies and tater tots, man. I'm like, it's like a 13-year-old that you're like, here. So I get there and I have to buy one piece, one appliance, one thing. I'm like, I gotta have this. And I know you need it at home, so you can leave that one here. I'm just gonna have to buy one here. And you want to guess what that is?
Microwave.
Well, I did have to buy a microwave
Oh.
because my house didn't have one. And
Coffee.
and
Coffee
ours
maker.
is like Ventahood and all that, so it's got to convey an air fryer.
Oh yeah.
Like how quickly that has became like almost that's how lazy we are and spoiled we are. Is like 5 years ago, I didn't own an air fryer. I didn't know what one was. I mean, like they were a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you remember like when VCRs just first came out and DVDs, and they were hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, like that. I mean, like the original VCR, I think, was like $1,000.
Oh yeah.
And now, they pretty much. I mean, first off, the technology is dead. But like, you can get like a DVD player for like $20 by the time.
Oh yeah. Well, the HDMI cord costs as much as the DVD player.
Yeah, I mean, but it's obsolete technology now. I mean, it's just everybody streams everything.
Now I got a funny grocery store story for you. I was in Thessaloniki, Greece.
Yep.
And we were staying like in the city.
Just right around the corner from.
Just right around. Yeah, it's close to Texas, but
yeah,
But we were staying downtown, okay, and like we were kind of on our own. Like we wasn't staying. Normally, you go on these mission trips, you got a missionary hanging out with you or a pastor or something like that. We were kind of on our own, and so they said, "Hey, there's a grocery store right at the end of the block. You can just go in there and get you some stuff." Right? We went in that grocery store, and everything was in Greek. And so we were shopping, like when we teamed up, we are like, okay, we're going, like me and we were going to do breakfast one day, and we went to what we thought was the meat section, which it was the meat section, and there was something that looked like a thing of sausage. It had the crimped ends on it, like Jimmy Dean sausage or something. Had a pig on it. So I'm like, okay, that's sausage. We'll make some sausage for breakfast. We got some eggs. We found the eggs, but it was, trying to go around finding everything, which is crazy, right? Well, we go to cook the sausage, or what we thought was sausage, and it was more of like a bologna. Like it was some sort of we fried it up, ate it anyway. It wasn't as tasty as bologna, but it was all right. So there's no Petty Jean bologna. But anyway.
And I'm bacheloring it right now. So I moved down and I just said, look, I've got my son's bed, which is a queen bed, but sleeping on it by myself, so it's no big deal. Then I got my recliner, the spare TV, and my Xbox because necessities.
That's right. Yeah.
Necessity. But you don't realize how much you rely on stuff until like you don't have it. Like I decided, okay, I'm gonna grill out. Saturday, I had Saturday off. I'm gonna watch the Hawg game. I'm gonna grill out, have a good time. Got me some steaks. Went and bought one of those like $15 portable grills, charcoal grills.
Mm-hmm.
I go home to put it together. I don't have a screwdriver. So I've got a thing out there. It's like a pit that they have, like a barbecue pit that's actually there, and it's got like a metal thing. So I literally I got the handle on it. I just laid that thing in there.
Yeah.
And so I just used it. I use it like normal. I don't have the vent on it or anything.
Yeah.
It's just that. And then I cook some steaks, beautiful steaks, got them HEB, Travis.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the HEB. Who doesn't get their steaks there?
Yeah. Right.
So I got there and then I really don't have a steak knife. So,
no.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah. So you just keep like running like
I've
like
eaten a
I
few
don't have any
steaks with a
hand towels
pocket
in the
knife.
bathroom. You know.
Uh,
So,
oh,
so I'm nickel and diming myself to death here. You know.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm just it's just
Cheaper to not take the take the job. Yeah.
yeah.
No. Well, Clint, man, we got a lot of Razorback stuff to talk about, man.
A lot, and you know what? We didn't. We, I know we're going to cover baseball. I mean, basketball and football, but we be remiss if we didn't mention the baseball team going 3-0 over the weekend against Portland.
And then
I think they got a midweek
couple
game.
wins against ULM.
Yeah, midweek game this week against UAPB. The team is looking.
UCA.
Oh, I thought they played UAPB, but yeah, they played.
Well, I heard on the radio this afternoon they said UCA. So if they
Well,
said
they're
wrong,
they're playing an Arkansas school that they're better
yeah.
than. Yeah, I mean, they don't. I mean, they're.
But then I think it's Ole Miss after that, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but
I think so.
The team's looking good right now.
Hey, do you think the Aloy brothers have any more brothers or relatives?
I hope they need to,
because we need them, recruit their mom. If they got sisters, I don't care, whoever, let them play.
Right. Yeah, no,
because they can probably swing a bat because it runs in their blood. Because Kahiva Aloy is, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the younger brother, the new one, is crushing the ball, Clint.
We call him Aloy number 2.
Yeah, the younger, little Aloy. And Wahiva, the one we had, the shortstop, is hitting great also. Now, I would say we need more Hawaiians, but Sousa's struggling hitting the ball. So hopefully he's coming back a little bit. But here's the other thing, Clint. This team only has 6 errors in the field so far this season.
And they played a lot of baseball.
And they played some baseball, and we're also, our pitchers are throwing a lot of strikes. How about the immaculate inning the other day? 9 pitches, dude. Like,
first off, I'm not that impressed by an immaculate inning. I'm not. I know it's like a rare feat in baseball. Apparently,
like 16 of them in all of like pro or college baseball ever.
Okay, but I've done it several times on MLB The Show.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I'm not
definitely, okay.
I'm not that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got my bullet ball. I got the handlebars. I throw the immaculate inning.
And our pitcher did not have. Was it Cole, whatever his name was?
Coyle, yeah, Parker Coyle, I believe.
Yeah. He didn't have a handlebar mustache.
No, I mean.
So yeah, okay. So that was no big deal.
no, it is impressive. It is.
Yeah. And the thing is, this team is, you got to remember, this team is largely pieced together this year. Not, it's not a roster full of returning players. There's a lot of new pieces there.
But I think that's just going to be college athletics going forward.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is, though, that they're just gonna get better, hopefully.
Yeah,
and that's hopefully in the natural swing of things. Now, look, when we get into SEC play, they're gonna be going against better pitchers than ULM and Portland, and even Charlotte. Even though the Charlotte game, we gave up quite a few runs against them, although we scored quite a few. Most of the runs happened in that one game. And that was the first game, I believe.
Yeah, we scored I think 20 runs.
Yeah, they scored like 10 or so or something. But anyway, it was other than that, though, we've done a pretty good job pitching. There's been a couple pitchers had some bad innings, but man, you gotta tip your hat to the baseball team, to Dave Van Horn. Now, Clint, let's talk about the basketball team. Okay. That's the next big thing. Wednesday at noon, they play against South Carolina. But however, since we've
by the way, I gotta say something. Let me stop you real quick. You were right. They do play UCA.
Okay, good.
They play.
Well, I mean, I've only been wrong like 3 times.
I mean, I think twice that I've known you.
Yeah, well, there was that time when I was 3, but I don't talk about it.
I mean, yeah, we do
but no, but the basketball team, man, they I guess the last time we talked was before the loss, right? To
Yeah, I think
who we
it
lose
was
to?
before we lost to South Carolina, I do believe, because I think we were. I mean, we pretty much were like okay, we're not on the bubble. We're in the field. You know, as long as we don't do anything embarrassing like lose to a tier 2 South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we went to South Carolina and they punched us in the mouth. But now, that being said, South Carolina had been playing better basketball. They
And
just had,
South Carolina's played some good teams very well.
yeah, they played some good teams very well. And we showed up to South Carolina on a Saturday and they punched us in the mouth.
Well, I wouldn't know if we really showed up.
Yeah,
But,
the bus pulled up and it stopped at the arena,
yeah,
and that's about what we can say.
we're not
But
sure we got off the bus. Yeah,
now,
but then of course we played Vandy and then Mississippi State, and those games went well for the Hogs. Now, of course, the Mississippi State game was pretty close
it
there.
got scary at the end of it.
It got scary. Adu has to make one free throw. He didn't make that second one, made me a little nervous. But defense was able to stand. But Clint, where in the world did Trevin Brazil come from?
You know, I don't know. Maybe Trevin Brazil is just one of those players that just isn't good coming off the bench. It's
Man,
like
he
they
is,
put him in as a role player, and I just don't know if it fit. And now that he's starting, or maybe he just figured it out. You know, who knows? But Trayvon, I mean, because you were talking about how bad Brazil had looked. I mean,
yeah.
you were like, I think you and Bart Reed were both kicking dirt on his grave, and lo and behold, you know, when it comes crunch time, the man has showed up.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had whatever game we played before South Carolina. I'm brain farting on it was. He had a good game there.
Yeah.
South Carolina,
Well,
I don't know if he had a good game. I don't think anybody did.
Vandy had a double.
Yeah, double. And then
did he have another one against Mississippi State even? I mean, great games, man. He's hitting threes. He's playing defense. He's rebounding. He's showing effort. Like he wasn't showing effort, folks. You watch these early games, he wasn't showing effort. And now all of a sudden he's waking up, he's showing effort. And it's made a difference.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they finished 8-10 in the SEC, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? And everybody said, like, I think most of the pundits before the season said 7-9 is a good record in the SEC this year.
Yeah.
It is that deep. The basketball landscape has switched today. So you're talking about maybe 13, 14 teams from the SEC getting in.
Yeah.
That's if Oklahoma. I mean, I think through Arkansas, you're solid. Oklahoma is probably that last four in, first four out type of position.
Yeah.
I think Arkansas, from what I've read, has probably put themselves anywhere from a 9 to an 11 seed.
Probably depending on what happens in this South Carolina game, but yeah.
Yeah. So, Travis, what do you think they're going to do in the SEC tournament?
My prediction will be win one and lose to Ole Miss in the second round.
It just depends. I mean, here's the thing: it just depends on if shots are falling or not. I think I was talking to you on the phone earlier, and I was talking about South Carolina. They didn't have bad looks.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons, the shots just weren't going down.
Yeah.
And there's games like that. We've all. I mean, you were. I mean, of course, you were a stud kicker in high school.
That's right.
I mean, did you ever mix an extra point, or were you like? Didn't they call you Automatic Johnson?
Close to that. There was other names they called
me,
like
68%.
I'm not going to repeat. Not going to repeat those names on here.
Deep
and we had a coach that didn't cuss, and I'm still not going to repeat those names. So, but yeah,
we have a different coach.
Yeah. Buckner kept it pretty clean. He kept it pretty clean.
he's let me have it once or twice. But anyway,
well, but that was
well, I've usually deserved it though. No, so I do think I think listen, I can see anything happening. I can see us going there and losing to South Carolina. I can see us, I think we beat South Carolina, we beat Ole Miss.
Well, here's the thing, Clint. Here's what I think personally. Okay. I think we need to, I want us to win South Carolina for just revenge and just to solidify around a 9 seed. I think beating Ole Miss doesn't help us in any way. I don't think the committee is going to look at another win in the SEC tournament. I think one win in the SEC tournament and getting a revenge win on a bad loss to South Carolina, I think might perk their ears up a little bit and keep our spot pretty good. But I think a win against Ole Miss isn't going to do much for us. And we're playing with 7 players, Clint.
Yeah.
And I think we need the rest.
Well,
so I think get in there, get your 1 win Wednesday, play your next game against Ole Miss, get some practice in, take the L, go back to Fayetteville, get some Wright's barbecue, get a nice protein punch, and rest and prop your feet up for a few days and watch the rest of the tournament.
So now I want to circle back to Ole Miss for a second. No, let's wait on that, but I do want to go back to Ole Miss, so don't let me forget. So I really, even if Arkansas wins the entire tournament, they're a 9 seed. They're the 9 seed in the SEC tournament right now. I mean, what? I think if you at least beat South Carolina, you're no worse than an 11 seed. I think if you lose to South Carolina, I can see you being in one of them play-in games. I really can. But even if you, let's just say you show up and you catch lightning in a bottle and win the entire tournament, where are you really going to go? I don't see you doing better than a 7.
No.
I mean, like maybe an 8, 7, 8, Yeah. So, I mean, you're really,
no.
The first game. That's
what I'm saying. I don't think, and those spots can make a difference, in the national championship. But I don't see us with 7 players in a tournament setting, especially SEC tournament setting.
No, the NCAA is different because you're going to play 2 games in 3 days.
2 games, and then you got a week off. Yeah,
you got a week off. Then you can play 2 games, 3 days. Yeah. I mean, look, you're gonna be very fortunate if you make it, to the Sweet 16.
And there's rumors out there, Clint, that, and here's something else I want to. Well, go back to Ole Miss, and I'll bring back my rumors.
Well, no, because it has nothing to do with Razorback basketball.
Oh, okay,
I'll go. We'll circle back to it.
Well, let me go to the rumors that Boogie and Thero are really working hard to try to play in the NCAA tournament. Now, this team has gotten better. It could be argued without both of them. Do we really want both of them back for this run?
Yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, Boogie Flan's a lottery pick, close to it.
I think the argument could be made. I think Thero adds to this team for sure.
Well, here's the thing. You don't bring Boogie back in and let the offense run through Boogie again. You keep the offense running the way it's been running.
I agree.
You bring Boogie in like, hey, Nelly needs 5. DJ Wagner needs 5. And then you bring him in. You get Boogie around 15 to 20 minutes a game just for some depth and let him do that.
I think you have to tell Boogie, you're not Batman. You're not the main guy here. Be Robin. Let the other guys that have been leading this team continue to do what they've been doing because it's been working. Now we can use you to spell them. We can use your athleticism. We can use your skill and ability, but we need you to not get in there and try to take over. We need you to go in there and be a good Robin,
Yeah. No, and I think that's the way Cal will approach it. And I think that's the way he should approach it. Mm-hmm. And plus it'll show NBA teams that you're a good teammate and you can come in and do that too. You can come in and take over the game. Now, Ole Miss did have a a big win. They had I don't remember who they upset, but they upset someone at home, stormed the court. Now, our boy Keith Carter, would you call Keith a friend of the program right now?
Well,
or somebody we knew back when we were kids?
It's, you know.
All right. So Keith Carter is trying to get some people banned.
Yeah.
That led to a $500,000 fine. Are you pro?
I think it was Tennessee, wasn't it?
Was it Tennessee? May have been.
I think it was Tennessee, and that would mean Tennessee has gotten 250 from Arkansas, and now another. Was it 500 or
500? Yeah, so $750,000
just from other teams storming the court, storming the field.
That kind of money won't even buy half a decent fullback these days.
That's true. That's true. That's right.
You can't even get a wishbone fullback for $250K.
That'll keep the last 3-star on the bench on the basketball team. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I heard about that. Keith is salty on that, isn't he? He's wanting to ban Ole Miss ticket holders for storming the court.
Well, you want to get the opposing team out there off the court as safely as possible, but you want to celebrate big wins.
Yeah.
I've been, we all stormed the field when we won the GSE championships against Southern Arkansas. And so that was a cool experience until you've been part of anything like it. So you don't want to take that from them. And banning some people for doing that when they were just excited and wanting to, celebrate with the team.
Yeah.
That's wrong. It just is. So
yeah. Keith needs, but he's from Perryville.
He's from Perryville.
They weren't used to winning like that.
No. So, and wearing basketball once he got there.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, how's it got to be to coach somebody like that in a small town like Perryville?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like because you give Keith crap all you want, but he's an SEC athlete, Oh,
yeah. Well,
God,
all SEC. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, him and Pat Bradley, not fans of each other.
That's right.
Him and old PB.
Well, I don't know if Pat knew that or not, but yeah. All right. So Clint, spring football has started today. And Sam Pittman's been on the he did a press conference the other day. I also watched he was on a podcast with
I didn't watch the podcast, but I did watch the press conference, and I watched Trey Biddy's walk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your biggest takeaway from the from everything?
Well, after let's approach it this way. After listening to all that, what are the things you're looking forward to? What are the questions you want answered from this spring practice from this football team? Or what's the things you're anxious to start hearing coming out from these practices?
What the starting offensive line is going to look like.
Yeah.
That is really from left to right, what's it going to look like? Because you got the big kid from Oregon.
Shaq.
That I think, I would about be shocked if they didn't pull up with him as left tackle. I'm not sure who's going to be the starting 5, but I'm thinking that guy's pretty much.
Actually, there's a lot of talk about him even being right tackle.
Okay, but he's going to be one of the tackles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Corey Robinson's the kid from Georgia Tech. There a lot of thought about him being left tackle. Because he's played left tackle at.
Yeah. So then you've got 2 returning starters that played pretty much every game last year, Carmona and Marion Harris. Are they moving in? I know they're talking about Cardona moving inside. Are they going to move Harris inside? Is Harris going to play? This kid from UCF that was a center. The depth on that offense.
Kittler's the center.
Who?
Kittler.
The depth on the offensive line seems to be stacked. Brandon, we're talking about Brandon pushing last year. I thought he had a good game in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought Edmondson had a good game in the Liberty Bowl. The team is that offensive line, I think, that is a good 15 deep.
And I agree with you. That's a lot of questions to be answered on that. but here's the cool thing about that is the truth is I think that's going to end up being a strength of this team.
I do too.
I think that's what we're going to end up seeing is that's going to end up being a strength. And so to me, the question is which of those, I think there's some talent there. Uh, I think there's a lot of talent there, honestly. Uh, Jaquan McCroy is the guy from Oregon. 6'8", 362 is what he weighed in at. And here's the thing I'm hearing about him, Clint, and I think Trey Biddy talked about this or somebody talked about it. He's fast.
Yeah.
Like they say, he's winning a lot of sprints with these guys. And we got a lot of guys that are around like the 300 mark. Okay. You know, the guys that are, you know, around 300 pounds. And he's, you know, Marion Harris is 6'7", 300. You know, so he's a, you know, and we've seen Carmona moves very well. You know, he's 325. And this guy's running with those guys and beating a lot of them in sprints, they say. So that's exciting. They say he's more probably geared to be a run blocker, though. And that's why they think he'll be on the right-hand side and that Robinson will be on the left.
Well, we had a guy a few years back, decent right tackle, named Sean Andrews.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seemed to work out for him okay.
And we got we got Bubba Craig, who came in as he's a guy that we're excited to see. He's 6'8", 307. His name's Bubba, so he's got to be a good Arkansas guy. He's he's a JUCO recruit, but there's a lot of talk about him. What do they end up doing with him? Does he have a chance at one of those tackle spots? Him being so tall, do they put him to guard?
I mean, that's what's nice about having Talon as your quarterback. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
So you having, tall interior offensive lineman isn't going to hurt him as much as it's going to hurt others.
Well, and that's the other thing. Our quarterback room, the shortest guy are the two freshmen, and they're both 6'3".
Yeah.
KJ Jackson and Blake Boda are both 6'4".
Well, and everybody, they were high on KJ last year. They said that's part of the reason Jacoby was leaving.
Yeah.
Because he had fallen like that. He might have been number 4.
Yeah.
Because he definitely followed behind Singleton. And then, he's definitely green and he came in, just took the job. They were, one thing I did like about Pittman's press conference, talking about how, how much Bobby Petrino's offense has improved every year.
Yeah.
So this is his second year working with Green. And he's saying, and Green seems to take the hard coaching well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, Petrino's going to be in your face and letting you have it.
The biggest question I want answered on offense, Clint, is the wide receiver position.
Very much so.
Because we lost all of our production. All of it. Even in the tight end room, we lost everybody. Okay. We have hardly any production returning. Okay. But does Omega Blake, he's the guy that everybody's thinking will end up being one of the go-to guys. Courtney Crutchfield has the talent, but he hasn't put it on film yet. Does he have the talent to come in there? You got Raylan Sharp, who, was at Missouri State, so he's familiar with the type of offense we run. How's he help us out? You got Cam Shanks as a return man. He was a stud return man at UAB. How do they use him and, getting some different plays? You got CJ Brown, who was in this offense last year. He's 6'1", 193. I mean, he's not
going through spring, but you're going to have Jordan Anthony back.
You do have Jordan Anthony's in track this spring. Yeah. So
Makes fast people look not fast.
That's right. That's right. You know, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who you got. Monty Harrison, 6'3", 230. I mean,
76 years old.
yeah, that's right. He's the grandpa of the bunch. But does he come out and do some things? I mean, I'm anxious to see what Shamar Easter is able to do at wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's down to 223 pounds, Clint.
That's what old
6'5".
Pittman said. He goes, he played wide receiver. They just put TE next to his name.
Yeah.
He goes, so
Yeah.
yeah, it obviously didn't seem like it was sinking in the tight end room. So, they made a smart pivot.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I was thinking about with the portal, and I'm not trying to get off this subject. Like, you used to have guys all the time like Richard Sherman come in as a wide receiver and they move him to defensive back. That kind of stuff ain't going to happen no more. They'll just go ahead and transfer.
Yeah. Well, we did have one receiver switch to D back, by the way. And this just came out today, I believe. Bryce Stevens.
Oh, wow.
Flipped to D back. So that, which makes sense because they have extra guys in the wide receiver room. They probably have too many guys there. So
they said they'll end up having to be cuts in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Maybe on the offensive line. Now, Travis, what about defense? What do they got you thinking about the defensive side of the ball?
Well, to me, the big thing is what the defensive line is going to look like.
Yeah.
Cam Ball is not participating in the spring. He had, I think, elbow surgery or something like that.
But that's almost a good thing to me. That Cam Ball's out of spring, but that, all these other guys are going to get Cam Ball's going to be in there. And then I think to have other guys being forced to play, and dude, having the offensive line that we're going to have is going to do nothing but help that defensive line.
Yeah. Now, our two big guys are going in two different directions. Ian Gifford, and this is on Hawg Sports. They did a list of the new weights and measurements that Razorback football put out today. And Ian Gifford is at 6'5", 389 pounds. He's up a pound. Okay. So he's gained a pound, which when you're 389 pounds, you can just breathe heavy and gain a pound. So, that's normal. Now, Danny Sally, homeboy's on Ozempic or something.
Not Ozempic.
I don't know, but he's down 50 pounds from his playing weight, from what he weighed last year. He's at 6'3", 325.
Yeah.
So he's lost some weight. So I'm interested to see what he's able to do, having lost some weight. I don't know if he's on Ozempic. I made that up. Okay. So
no, I don't.
Don't quote me on that, folks. But, the big question too is Quincy Rhodes. We saw flashes of him. Is he able to come out and is he able to be that Landon Jackson?
First off, I could not possibly be hired on Quincy Rhodes. Could not be.
Yeah, yeah.
If you look at the last play of that Tennessee game,
yeah,
where who blew that play up was Quincy Rhodes.
Yeah, yeah.
And he did it against, I believe, an all SEC offensive lineman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He hit him with a spin move that was just ridiculous. And then their quarterback, Nico, he just left him no choice but to run it. But I'm excited about the linebackers still. You got Sorey back.
You got Sorey, Dix, Shaw. And then you got, Tavon Wallace, who, freshman, it's supposed to be pretty good. And you got some others, that have come in. So, you feel pretty good about that room. Defensive backs, you've got, Selma Bridges, Larry Worth, Jaheim Singletary, Miguel Mitchell. So you got some guys, that
have played, but I don't know about the depth. I think that's really
the quality of depth. You know, you're
Yeah,
losing the Metcalf brothers, you've lost some of your guys that, so, how did they do filling those gaps?
yeah.
Those are really the questions there.
Pittman, I think the way it may sound, they feel like they're going to be better on offense. He doesn't know about defense.
Yeah.
And I think, and I really I see him being active in the portal. Now, what did you think of Pittman's decision to go ahead and have a spring game? It's not going to be on TV.
Yeah, I like it. I like what he said on the podcast he was on with Cook, former offensive lineman. Is it Bray Cook?
Cook.
Yeah, he said he'll always have a spring game, and he said he's always going to have an unpaid walk on the team, in his 105-man roster. He said in honor of Brandon Burlsworth that he'll always keep an unpaid walk-on the 105-man roster. Because with the Reverend, and that's the thing, the roster has expanded. I mean, actually dropped to 105, but they can pay all the people in the 105. They used to have a 120-man roster, but they could only give scholarships to 85 of them.
Right.
Now, with the rule changes, they can do that. Anyway, but I like the idea of the spring game. I think for the fans, just to keep the fans happy and, for fans to show up, even though, I mean, you're not going to have a big crowd. A lot of the fans are going to gripe about it because it's, they want it to be, like he talks about, he said, there's always going to be complaints that it's not ones versus ones. He said, we do that in practice the whole rest of the time. He said, if we don't do it in a spring game, he said, we're just out there to, try to put on a show for the fans. So, and we don't want to get anybody hurt in it. So, what do you think about it?
No, I agree with it. I agree with it because here's the thing: you're not spring games an opportunity to show what you got, but I think you've already kind of going in the spring game. You already know your place on the depth chart. You know where you are. It's a good opportunity to see where you are and to spend that summer working on it.
Yeah.
Because you like if you're Branham, okay, right now I'm probably number 2 on the offensive at right guard behind Marion Harris.
Yeah.
Or just I'm using that as a scenario. But and so you go, okay, I've got to work harder than or you could look at it and go, man, I'm not being out of Marion Harris. I might as well, see if Arkansas State's hired.
Yeah.
See if I can get me $25K NIL money from them or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
now he told
Pittman goes, people already know who they're going to poach.
Yeah.
They already know who they're going to poach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
yeah. Now he told a great Bray Cook story that I'd never heard before on that podcast. And I feel like we're advertising for our competition here, but well. Anyway,
if he's got Sam Pittman come on his podcast,
he's not competition. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But he told a great story about him. He said that whenever he played for him, when Pittman was the offensive line coach under Bielema, he said he had to bring Cook in and tell him. He said, "Man, I'm taking your starting position away from you." And he was at guard. He said, "I'm moving you out to right tackle, but you're going to be number 2 at right tackle." And Cook said, "Who's number 1?" He said, "I need to know who it is because I'm going to beat them out." And this was on like Sunday, okay, after a game on Saturday. By Friday, Cook had beaten out the number 1 right tackle and started.
Yeah.
Pittman said the only time in his 35 years of coaching that he benched someone in 1 week and then moved them and demoted them and then moved them up to starter the same week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Without an injury. He said,
I got demoted and stayed demoted for many seasons.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what happens, right? Someone gets demoted and then unless there's an injury, someone, but
that says about, that says about Cook is because that's that attitude, that's different.
Yeah.
Is that, I would have spent like the week in my field. Like, this is stupid. I'm not going to try and practice. I'm going to show them.
Yeah.
And then, Bray Cook's like, I bet. Let's go. Let's go. And then
That's right. Now, one thing that's happened, Clint, since we've talked was the combine.
oh yeah.
Some former Hogs had some showings. And now Landon Jackson did about what we expected. He went in and showed out. He had
Yeah.
great vertical. He had some of his numbers were compared to Miles Garrett. Okay. A very wealthy man now, Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
Mr.
He's on a bad football team with a really high paid defense.
45 million a year, baby. Yeah, Miles, but Landon had had a really good combine. He didn't have that great of a Senior Bowl in the practices, especially. But
Well, he played great in the game.
he played great in the game, but his practices, he got whipped a little bit. And early on in the week, he did better as the week went on. But then did a great job. But I'm telling you, Isaac Tesla, folks, listen, I've said it on here. I'm going to keep banging this drum. Boom, boom, boom. May end up being maybe not the best, but could be one of the second best pro. I think he'll be a better pro than Armstrong, than any of the other Razorbacks.
No, I do think Armstrong's going to be a good pro. A lot of it. A lot of it depends on where you get drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get drafted in a situation like, let's say, Armstrong goes in the second round to, or whatever, he may not. I mean, he goes fourth round to Indianapolis. He's got Anthony Richardson throwing in the football. I know it was hard for the Indianapolis coach, to realize the quarterback that wasn't very good in college is not very good in the NFL either.
Yeah.
So go to a situation where you don't have somebody to throw you the football. And let's just say Tesla gets drafted in the 6th round by Kansas City and ends up being a slot receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's got Mahomes throwing in the football. There's a world of difference. It's so much of.
No, you're right. There's going to be a big difference on where he goes, but I still think, man, he was underutilized at Arkansas. He wasn't used very well. Whether it was Taylor Green missing him or whatever happened, he was not used right last year.
Green developed a chemistry with Andrew Armstrong that just was not. I mean, just that he ended up being his Burks. But man, I'm excited about the football season. I'm excited about spring practice. It's going to be interesting how it shakes out.
But we still got basketball and baseball to finish.
We got basketball. We got baseball. We're coming up on the best sports weekend of the year. That is the first weekend of the NCAA tournament.
That's right.
It is so close.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you one question, Travis. How far will the Razorback basketball team go before they're eliminated and they've played their last game together?
Third round.
So you're saying Sweet 16? Or is the round of 32 technically the third round now?
Oh yeah. I think they'll make it. Let's see. Depends on the draw. Sure, let's say Sweet 16, especially if Boogie or Thero, one of them was able to come.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on the draw, because I saw one today that they were playing in the first round. They had us playing number 7, the 7th seed Kansas.
Yeah,
and then I've seen us against BYU. I've seen, just all kinds. I mean, there's I think depends on that first round matchup. The second round, I've seen a lot of them having us against Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of that.
So
a lot of it depends on the draw, but you know what? I'm not going to bet against Coach Cal. I'm not going to, I would say round of 32 right now.
Yeah.
But
that's probably the safer bet.
But I'm also of the opinion, like, this team could get hot and go on a run in Nashville.
Yeah.
So Travis, everywhere that they play, where do you think they should play the SEC title game at? As far as the SEC basketball tournament, I mean, They're doing it in Nashville. Where do you think I guess at Bridgestone Arena.
I think Nashville's a good place for it. I really do. I think, I mean, you might could do it somewhere in Texas now. Um, but I don't know. I kind of like Nashville. It's good
Now
central.
that's kind of,
It's a fun town.
if you do it in Texas, I know we got Texas and we got A&M now, but that almost feels like we're infringing on Big 12 territory.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it does. Like that's like, I
And
think Nashville's good. I think,
football's Atlanta already.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't throw something else in Atlanta, you know. I think they got Atlanta, leave it there. Now maybe no, I was gonna say maybe somewhere down in Florida, but not even there. I think Nashville's a good place. It's a fun
Because
town.
Florida, all you got's the Gators.
It's a
down
place
there.
people like to travel to. It's easy to travel to. The airport's good there as far as, I mean, you can, flights there are easy to get to,
Yeah.
for all the schools. Maybe Charlotte, somewhere like Charlotte wouldn't be too bad, but Charlotte, you're getting into more of a Duke,
See, because that became a big issue in the ACC
yeah,
a few years ago, because in the ACC they did it in Greensboro every year, and then Boeheim was like, Greensboro brings nothing to the table. Listen, I lived in Greensboro, I worked in Greensboro, and Boeheim's right.
yeah.
So it's like
Yep.
I've been to the Greensboro Coliseum a few times, and it is not. I would not call it a gorgeous complex. They still play the women's tournament there. Of course, we were playing the SEC women's tournament in Hot Springs for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
It should never be in Hot Springs. I'm sorry. Them ladies deserve better.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Everyone deserves. I mean,
better than Hot Springs.
Yeah. Well, Clint,
come for the meth, stay because you sold the car for the meth.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, Clint, what you watching, man?
Dude, I've caught up on Reacher.
Okay, I've never watched that.
Oh my goodness, it is so good.
Is it?
Yeah, you've got to get.
You're the second one that's told me about that this week. Actually.
Yeah, Thad Castle plays Reacher. I don't know his real name. Alan Richardson, but it's Thad Castle from. That's one of them roles, and he's done a good job. If you play a role like that, you're Steve Stifler the rest of your life.
Yeah,
because I mean, Sean William Scott appears in a movie, you're like, that's Stifler.
Yeah.
And so he, no, that it is so good. I finished The Traitors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't finished it yet, so don't tell me.
No, I won't spoil it, but I finished The Traitors.
In fact, I'm probably gonna watch that tonight. Yeah.
So and like literally, like I watch it faster than anybody because like I fast forward to them. Like I don't watch any of the challenge because like, I get to where they're arguing and I get on with my life.
Yeah.
So Travis, what are you watching, my friend?
Well, once again, I'm gonna keep banging this drum. The Pit is one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. So
I'm gonna have to get HBO Max again because they're gonna do the new. Travis, we have not talked about this either. I'm sorry I cut you off. Have you seen The Thing?
The Thing?
The Thing.
Uh-uh.
The John Cena heel turn.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Turns heel.
Yeah.
You know what was funny was me and the boy were watching it. We were watching the Elimination Chamber, and he went back to his room. He was done watching because it's just like, And then Cody Rhodes, The Rock's like, I want your soul, blah, blah, blah. And Cody tells Rock, to go colorful word himself. And I was like shocked. I couldn't believe it. Like he had said it. So of course I do what any responsible parent would do. I call my 13-year-old son back into the living room and said,
Yeah.
And then we watch it. And so me and him are watching together. And we're both just like,
yeah.
I mean, like, because
it's the first time he's ever been heel, right?
Since he turned baby, like in years. Like he was a bad guy, like in developmental and a little bit on the main roster, but for like probably close to 20. I mean, for most of mine and yours, that we've seen him, he's been 99.9% of the time. So and just the way he did it, the look on his face, his expression just
Yeah.
changed. It might, and you know what? I mean,
Well,
we're of an age. We remember Hulk Hogan turning heel.
yeah.
He might have topped it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Well,
I'm sorry.
And the thing was when, of course, we'll see what it does in the storyline. When Hulk Hogan went heel, he almost became more popular because NWO was such a big deal, right? I mean, people were buying NWO shirts like crazy.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, it was more of a, he was heel, but was he really heel? Like
Yeah.
he was
They were
the
showing
bad
all
guy.
the
He was
kids.
the bad guy you root for.
They were showing all the kids in the crowd crying.
It was like the main guys on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Like they're horrible people.
They're horrible people.
But you're rooting for them.
It's like Jack Taylor. He tells Dre Mateo, he goes, "I'm not a good guy."
It's right. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the way Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah, I need to
Whether
be the monster.
John Cena is going to be like that, it sounds like to me, which is probably a setup for a bigger heel turn.
Well, I mean,
for a bigger face turn later. But yeah, I actually that Saturday night it came across my social media, and so I didn't watch the video of it until later on Sunday. But it worked out as a great illustration for my sermon Sunday morning. So I actually opened my sermon talking about that.
That's funny. Like
I even did this for the pulpit. So
who are you comparing? Okay, I'm curious. Who were you comparing John Cena to in the Bible?
Well, what I was doing, I was talking about baptism, and I was talking about why Jesus was baptized, and one of the reasons was he was announcing like his ministry. Like when he got baptized, he was kind of letting everybody, because the Jewish leaders were all around and stuff, and he was letting them know, hey, because when he gets baptized, a lot of things happen there, and so it's kind of a announcement, right? And so I just used that to compare to the big announcement, that John Cena did something big publicly to announce, hey, I'm a bad guy now. So it was, not a one for one, but it was kind of, but I also talked about how that, what Jesus did was part of a bigger plan. What John Cena was doing was part of a bigger plan or whatever, So anyway, so it worked. But anyway, some of the old people in my church, when I'm doing this, they're like, what's he talking about? but anyway, the other, another show, Clint, that you need to watch, Extraction. Have you watched that?
What's that?
Extraction. Have I told you about this one?
No, I've not seen Extraction.
Okay, it's a survival show. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like semi-celebrities.
No, it's not celebrities.
Oh, no, they've done it with celebrities, but
Tony Banks' son. Remember the quarterback Tony Banks?
Yeah,
played for like the Rams and stuff. Anyway, his son's in it. He's the only real celebrity, but or what known guy. What it is you have one person that's going to be put into the wild or whatever, and then you have two of their either family or friends or somebody that's their support, right? And they're like in a headquarters, and they have the power to extract them, to push the button and they end the game, right? But they also have power they compete and do some different things or have to do these different things, and they can send them stuff like fire starting stuff or food or stuff like that. And so there you have what's going on at home base, plus you got the people having to build shelter, having to build fire, having to do, like kind of like a loan, where they're having to boil their water and all that kind of stuff.
A different kind of survivalist show.
It's another survivalist show, but you have the family or the friends, trying to decide. And some of them are like, they can't leave unless the family hits the button. And like this one guy, his fiance's out there, and he's kind of a burly mountain man type guy, and his fiance's not, okay? And she's out there. And so he's like, she was having a hard time starting a fire, but she had like a fire, like a flint and everything, but she couldn't get it going. He's like, I'm not getting her out. She needs to figure this out. She needs to work through it. And so he's kind of doing tough love, And so, and his dad's the other person. His dad's like, man, come on, man, get her out. anyway, and so it's a pretty neat. There's some neat dynamics because then you got the family. Do they trust the other ones? Because sometimes they have to barter like some things and try to work together and decide, hey, we're not going to give this to so and so or whatever. Like one of the deals was they had a loaf of bread and they had to decide the order they were going to let them come, and there was 8 of them that were going to come get it, and they had to decide. And they had, said, okay, 8 people are going to get this bread, but you don't know which one you are. So you got to decide if how much of the bread you're going to take, or if you're going to take any. And so, are you going to leave some for somebody else or whatever? And so anyway, it's some neat, kind of like, it's got a little bit of Beast Game mixed into it. Yeah. So anyway, it's worth watching. And then a movie I watched, Real Pain, with Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
Okay.
He won Best Supporting Actor for it.
Yeah, how was that?
It's actually really good. Now, it's a slow movie. It's more of an artsy, but it's a good watch. It's
I went to the movies today.
You did?
Yep, went to the movies today because I had, I'm in Texas by myself. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of being in the house. I'm like, I go to watch a movie. It's a couple hours away from, everything that I can just sit there and watch. I watched Mickey 17, and it's 2.5 hours. I could have done something else.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but Robert Pattinson, emo Batman, Edward Cullen, he's in it. It's a sci-fi. It's like he's in the expendable program where like he dies, and they just reprint him, load his memories up.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, it's not like it's if it's on Netflix and you've got nothing else to do, watch it.
Yeah.
But Real Pain, I've heard good things about it.
It's good. It's really good. It's I watched Succession with Little McCall. Is it Kalen, whatever his name is? Kieran, yeah. And he's one of those guys. He's like George Clooney, as far as he just plays himself in every role, but himself is so intriguing to watch, especially when he's kind of just the type of person he is, and he is a perfect fit for this role. And he does a really good job, man. Just kind of steals the show in it. And it's just about these 2 cousins. They're real close in age, and they go to Poland to visit some of the places where the internment camps and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
And so to kind of connect with their family heritage, their grandmother had lived there and stuff like that. Anyway,
yeah, I should do something like that with my cousin that's close in age, where one of us goes to prison and the other one does a mediocre podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But Travis, what number is this? Is this 190 something?
191, I believe.
191 in the can, my man.
We're approaching 200. Party over. It's out of time. Yeah. One day we're gonna party like it's 199.
199. There we go.
That's right. All right, Clint. Well, man, folks, like, share, comment, subscribe. We need you. We need you to do that for us, please. Please. And you'll make some happy fat men.
There you go.
Clint, man, enjoy Texas.
Y'all act right. Arkansas, y'all act right while I'm gone.
That's right.
Act right.
Hey, cats away. Let's play, mice. Have a great week. Woo pig.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. my hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I swear when I work, my hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard I can barely breathe. Hard to sing a joyful song. The words got me on my knees. Then the gentle breeze blows by, pick me up right on time. Listen, now I know the Lord is near, working right by my side.